This is terrible. All that junk. I was gonna do a little Jon Boat review with y'all, let y'all see my setup. But I've obviously got to do some cleaning before we get to looking at everything. So it is hot out here. Oh my God, it's hot. Y'all see my four-wheel drive? That's a bad girl right there. She'll pull this Jon Boat all over. But yeah, I got to clean my garage first. So y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me, and let me do this, and I'll give you a couple minutes of overview on the Jon Boat, because we got some fishing videos coming up, and it's flounder season. Just everything's going to happen over the summer. So of course all the COVID rules are going to relax supposedly, and with that we're gonna be doing some fishing, a couple state parks or something, trying to enjoy the summer off, because not every heat and air guy gets to have a little bit of time off in the summer, and I am fortunate to have that off. So yeah, I was going to show you the boat, so let me clean the garage, and I'll get back to you. Too easy, right? My 10-year-old's got the camera. We're going to do the Jon Boat review, show you how we do it, okay? This is our flounder killing machine. But we catch a lot of other stuff too. Catfish, brim, some crappies. It's not a crappie, it's a crappie. It's got an A. Anyway, look. 1448 Jon Boat, right? 1448 Jon Boat with my all-powerful four-wheel drive Ford Taurus. Boy, she's a bad car. Here, look at this. Got my flounder lights on the front, okay? Most everybody, cars, trucks, Jeeps, whatever, you got a light bar. So Amazon was my friend, 18 bucks for the light bar, and I've got 4 flounder lights. Okay, I've got homemade lights. Some of them's got little scratches in it from the oyster beds or whatnot, but I bought these chips off of Amazon as well. 50 watt 12 volt chips. I don't run a generator. Did a little bit of soldering myself, poured the epoxy in there to seal it. That was like the first generation. I cut out more aluminum out of that pocket than I needed, but next generation, you know, there it goes. So I've got 6 chips. That's 300 watts of light. I've got some homemade little aluminum light holders. Okay, I started to make some of these, right? Not only doing heating and air, trying to dabble with some welding and other things, but made me a little bracket, welded some aluminum together and made a little light bracket. I can put my pole in here, clamp it, and mount whatever light I want. And these, I just went online to Online Metal Supply. You know, all you gotta do is Google it, and I bought me some 1" by 2" rectangle aluminum tubing and some round tubing as well. And this is one that I hadn't finished, but you get the idea. I cut a hole big enough for the round pipe to fit in the rectangle, and then we tried to weld it up. So I'm not an expert aluminum welder, but you know, I'm not too shabby when I want to be. So I tried to run wire all through the boat, but basically what I wound up doing was buying me a heavy gauge extension cord and clipping the ends off so I could bolt it into my lights. Each of these newer lights that I did, I put a fuse holder and also a plug on it, and it seems to work pretty good. So I've got the male plug there, female plug there. All you do, of course, is it's more waterproof than what I did before, which was wire nuts. So anyway, it's a standard Jon Boat. I had to go to Virginia and get this, so shout out to Sports Marine up there in Newport News. Got me a live well / dry box over there. I've plugged it so it's got dry box in there, or it's just a dry storage. Gas tank, got a couple rod holders. I bought a rod holder set from another guy online, Hills Rod Holders, and this is it mounts inside your oar locks. So I mounted a couple extra oar locks, and now I can put in my gig poles, my fishing rods, whatever, and it keeps them up out the way, keeps them above my Humminbird fish finder. You know, standard stuff. The latest thing I did was this Max It Out LED. I had my fish finder. I had my fish finder on a ram mount, so it's you know, easily maneuverable. But Max It Out LEDs, they have ram components, and they made a all-around light. So definitely got to have them when you're fishing at night. Your all-around lights on. Came with a plug. I did some shrink wrap on it, but I mean, if you ever want to take it off, it's a 2-wire plug right there. You know, connects just like your trailer lights. So that's it. My transducer, my all-powerful 15-horse motor. That thing will push me and my 2 sons and all our gigging stuff like 22 miles an hour. So trolling motor, got to have that for when you get tired of paddling. Everything happens on a boat. So got a couple batteries back here with my bilge pump and fire extinguisher. Like I said, I got a couple LED strips mounted inside for when we're going at night, and also when we're crappie fishing on the lake, I've got some green LEDs along the side as well. So it's pretty good. Love it. If you don't have a boat, you need to get one. If you can't afford one, go halves with your buddy. But got plenty of oyster scrapes down here. But it's just a nice little boat. It ain't a Grady White, and I don't treat it like that. So too easy. Same light setup on the other side. Got my male-female watertight connections here. Got to finish putting some electrical tape and shrink wrap on those. But like I said, I just ran an extension cord, and it goes all the way to the back, straight to the battery box. We keep it up out the way while we're gigging. So anyway, oh, last thing, right, because I brought it out. Try not to drill holes in your boat. If you look over there where my fish finder is at, you'll see that I've got a piece of marine plastic that is basically 3M double-sided tape. They call it 3M VHB, very high bond. But that little block, before I realized what I was doing, cost me like 35-40 bucks on Amazon. And what I did, so I didn't drill as many holes in my boat, because once you drill a hole, it's pretty much there, you know. Just like when I added these seats back here, or the pedestal mounts, so I could put a seat back here, I put 2 in. So once I cut that hole out, it was done, right? And then I went ahead and put you know, all 6 screws in there. But whatever I do now, I try to, when I mounted my switch panel, when I mounted my bilge pump, when I mounted the transducer and the fish finder inside, even on my fire extinguisher. So I didn't drill holes. I used some marine starboard, and I get mine from a place called Tap Plastics, I believe. It's, you know, heavy duty marine stuff. And I use the 3M VHB tape. Cut it on my saw at home. And if I need, I bought a 12 by 12 piece of sheet, and it's 3/4 inch thick. You can buy it 1 inch thick or 1/4 inch thick, or, you know, however you want. But they, you know, they manufacture all kind of stuff out of this. But I cut me a piece as big as what I need, and I mount things like my fire extinguisher so it stays up out the way. I mounted my bilge pump down there. It's got double-sided tape on it. Really don't know what I'm doing with the hose yet, but I'll figure it out. But it's great. It's great. So last thing I'll show you is my fishing rod holders. I knew a guy that he does some machining stuff, so he machined me a little holder so I could put these awesome rod holders right here. Monster rod holders. I love Steve's videos and stuff. He's a great guy. But this is called Elite rod holders from a guy down in Alabama. And these things, you turn them left, right, any direction. You can turn them up and down any direction, and of course lock it into the angle that you want. So I've got 4 of those, and they go all around the boat in these oar locks that I've put around. So man, just a nice little boat. Just a nice little boat. So hopefully it helps you out, maybe gives you an idea. It's awesome to have a boat like this. Like I said, flounder gigging, Flounder gigging, drum fishing, speckled trout, brim, bass, crappie, catfish, it don't matter. If it's out there, we do it, and we like to fry it and eat it. So anyway, let me know if it helps. Oh yeah, I was going to show you all my gigs real quick. Hey, this is Outrigger Outdoors' latest gig. I've got it mounted on a closet rod, basically from Lowe's. So 8-foot rod. They send you this nice little gig. I opted for the 3-prong because I have a 5-prong of their older style. Great, never lost a fish on it. Put some blood on it just the other day, but of course I left my SD card out of the camera and at home, so no footage of that. And I also have another one right here. This was my first one from Creekside Metalworks, Johns Island, South Carolina. Great stainless steel. I got a lot of fish last year off of this. So pretty well made. I pole the boat. I don't use the trolling motor up front. Whole long story behind that, but just a nice gig. Hadn't let me down yet. I've got it mounted on just an aluminum pole. Nothing wrong with your Sea Striker stuff, but I like to do stuff myself, if you couldn't tell from the lights, right? Nothing wrong with learning something and trying and failing if you have to come up with a better system. So yeah, LED nav lights, homemade flounder lights, everything's great. So I'll show you a couple pictures of the lights, and that'll be it. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. All right, there we go. Y'all see him?
First flounder, baby.
First flounder of 2021. Right there. Can we focus on the thing, man? There he goes. Look at his little eyes. He ain't big as a tater chip.
No, I mean,
Big as a tater chip.
he's as big as a fairly nice potato chip.
What?